But yeah, this is Rob. His name's Rob Kiernan. So he used to go by his first name in game. Now he goes by his second name. I forgot to ask them if they're ready. They're probably wondering, because I'm ready. Okay, there we go. I think we're good to go here. Oh no, we're not. Oski's not ready. So Kiernan's gonna try and keep this going all by himself. Whoa! Alex Laser with £50 for the prize pool. I really appreciate that, dude. And I'm sure the players do as well. So here's game one. Kiernan in the blue, Oski in the orange. My prediction for this is that Oski takes it. He made it to the grand final of Just Win. He looked great in doing it. And every time I've seen this guy play, I'm just so impressed by his mechanical ability, but also the positioning and the smarts that he's got to back that up. He's not completely reliant on just chasing around and trying to flex mechanics on everybody. He really is a special talent, but he's missed the boost steal there, and Kiernan's going to take a 1-goal lead. And I'll say it once more for anyone who just tuned in. This is Kiernan, who used to be known as Rob. I've casted him many times on my channel. He is, I believe, maybe the second most accomplished Irish player right now in RLCS after Virtuoso. Lovely goal there at the near post by Oski. On another map that might have been a good strategy for Kiernan, but unfortunately for him, on Manfield and Manfield Night, you can actually see through the post both ways. It's a transparent post regardless of whether or not you've got that setting turned on. Some of the maps, I've talked about this before, Neo Tokyo, Wasteland, I'm sure there's others as well. You can actually hide inside the near post like that, and wow, Kiernan's actually going to save this, isn't he? I'm going to keep saying Rob by mistake now that I've talked about it. Maybe we should ask Psyonix to change that. Do we need the buff? It's a defensive buff in Rocket League when they make the goalpost transparent for the defender but not the attacking player. You can just sneakily hide in the near post. They don't know if you're actually on the post itself or if you're actually on the ground. So it can be an advantage to just hide in there. Coil Twitchbot, thanks 100 bits. Much appreciated. Lovely little air dribble bump there by Kiernan. He's going to be the more bread and butter player out of these two, but he's also extremely mechanical. He's very fast, very efficient, and he's one of those players who just goes for attacking volume. When he gets a couple of kickoffs, one in a row, you'd expect to see 2 shots in quick succession. Not the type of player to just dribble the ball around and wait for that one golden opportunity. He just keeps on shooting and keeps on shooting. In fact, Kiernan, I believe, is the player who's had the largest one-game comeback that I've ever casted on my channel. It was a 7-goal comeback. Kiernan against Growly. I think he was going by Rob back then. Oh my goodness. I said that Kiernan is going to be the more bread and butter player, but that is not bread, is not butter. That is a very, very cheeky shot. That is phenomenal stuff. And Oski giving him credit in the quick chat too. 23 Nick RL, thanks to 16 month tier 1, I appreciate it, man. And Alex Laser, yeah, again, £50 prize pool donation. I did actually change the minimum donation on my Twitch channel to £50. And the reason for that, if anybody's wondering, is because I'm just going to be putting all donations into prize pools for show matches from now on. And if you want to donate to me, you can sub or you can cheer. There are, there are other ways that you can support me, or if you just want to follow or tell your mates to watch the stream. But for prize pool donations, if you want to contribute to one, I am keeping it to 50 plus, because I don't want to, any more on my channel. And I'm not trying to say that no one else should do this. I'm not trying to have any more on my channel, lots of, people getting spur of the moment, baited into a scam train for show match prize pools, but it's still possible to do that. Yeah, that was a pretty crazy goal by Oski. I was trying to finish my train of thought, but you're going to see plenty more of those, so don't worry. You're probably, if this first time you see me cast Oski, you're probably thinking, why didn't Johnny say anything about that goal that he just scored? Don't worry, he's gonna do it again. I promise you. That was nothing for Oski. That's just a normal day at the office for him. Now, Oski told me before this match started that him and Kiernan actually know each other very well. They've played, I believe, with each other quite a lot, but I asked if they've played a lot of 1v1 against each other, and he said no, they haven't, which I found surprising after his first statement that he made. But this means that, you know, we're watching two players who are very, you know, very clued up on how the other player's going to play, but actually pretty new to stepping into the one's arena and going up against it. And of course, it's going to always be a bit different when you have to go against the real thing. Kiernan air dribble into flip reset, but because he's taking that a little bit longer to get the flip reset started, Oski could close the distance, and now he's going to transition with an air dribble bump of his own. Oski right back in this with the tie game. Scott Stotts 1992, thanks to the 7-month Prime. And also Faraz FS11 for the 12-month Prime. Really appreciate that, man. Also Bitsu with the brand new Prime. Welcome to you. Oski in the lead for the first time in the game. I'm sure that you guys would have said something by now if it wasn't, but I'm assuming that game sound is okay. It looks actually to be quite loud on my OBS, but for some reason my mic also looks to be going quite loud today as well. I don't know why, because I didn't actually change anything, but I think it's probably okay, because they've both got louder. Seems fine, all sounds good. Okay, well that's good news. I'm glad to have the confirmation. Thank you, Johnny Love from Middle East. If that's a reference to Middle East being in our LCS, you need to thank the players predominantly, and all of the teams and all the tournament organisers in the region. I merely brought attention to it. Oh wow, what a goal. Kiernan kind of beamed this after making an exceptional outplay outside the box. That was an open net miss, but then he forces somewhat of a 50-50, somewhat of an own goal setup, I think he was trying to force there, into Oski's net. Oski playing for the mind game proved to be a bit of a risky strategy. Oh wow, what a recovery though. Just when you thought Kiernan is going to equalise once again. He's mixing in a good few challenges here, and you need to do this against a player like Oski. If you give him space, he is going to flip reset your entire family, and that's probably what we're about to see here. Taking his time with it, actually. Decides this time it's not worth the risk. He is already up by 1. He's being a bit more selective with what shots to go for. Fake challenge from Oski doesn't cause Kiernan to panic, but Kiernan still denied after he does choose to flick the ball forward. Now he's got one more chance to get an attack going. There's another fake challenge from Oski. Baits him to hit the ball earlier than he might want to. These are some smart challenges. Oski playing a very safe and a very composed final minute here. Didn't go completely all in on a risky offensive play moments ago, and now he's read the dive in from Kiernan, and that is just a complete time read there by Oski. Spotted Kiernan in the corner, grabbing the boost, and he could see by the way that Kiernan was steering into that boost that he was probably going to steer up the line afterwards to challenge, especially given the, I think we're at, what, 14 seconds left there? Double reset by Kiernan, shut down, and Oski takes game 1. But it was, you know, for me, really the good discipline in the final minute that was most impressive. Sure, Oski had a brilliant comeback, but, you know, I've seen him do that before. I've seen him score so many amazing goals in the past. What you know, it's maybe been lacking in his gameplay that I have seen in the past is discipline and consistency, decision making at the absolute highest level. He's definitely got a very, very high level in all those aspects of the game, but that final minute was, I think, very impressive. Just not going for that flip reset in the final minute as well when he was on the left wall. I really thought that he was going to go for one there, but he decided it was too risky, and given the position and the setup and the time remaining and the scoreline, I would definitely agree. Did I watch the We Play Invitational final? I was kind of listening to a bit of it, but no, I didn't have a chance to watch. I was actually out, so I did not have a chance to watch. I was out most of this weekend, busy. in real life. How many of you guys in chat watched it? Actually, I'll tell you what I did see. Before I went out, I did see the Dignitas versus Carmine Corp series. That was a brilliant series. I didn't see Carmine Corp versus BDS though. Had to leave. And then yesterday, I didn't see any of the NA action. I saw some earlier on in the weekend, but not in the last day. I'm excited to see Dignitas with Scrub, and I'm, also happy so far to say that my prediction for how that roster is going to do might actually turn out to be accurate. I'll reiterate for anyone who hasn't heard what my take has been consistently since I heard that Scrub was joining the roster. I've said that I have high hopes for them because the last time we saw Scrub in a team with 2 players that he's got a lot of respect for, they won a World Championship and got grand final in the next one. That, of course, was Ren of Vitality with K-Dop and Fairy Peak, 2 players who Scrub had and still has, I believe, immense respect for. All the teams that Scrub was on after that, I think he definitely respected those players as teammates and as players, but he probably looked at himself as the carry of the team rather than on equal footing, and I don't think that does Scrub well for 3v3. So now that he's playing with Jack and Jorias, I think Scrub's probably going to take more of an approach similar to his K-Dot Fairy Peak days, and I'm not surprised to see them doing well. Sorry, I missed what Gregan said in the chat there. It just disappeared when I looked over. EU going to be exciting this season. I agree. I think EU. I think all the regions, to be honest. EU looking incredibly exciting with Carmine Corp. Dignitas just joining the ranks of all the teams who we already knew were good from last season. You've also got Middle East Asia coming in. That's of course going to be hype. Furia are probably the super team for South America now because they've grabbed one of the absolute top players in the region, Yan, who I'm super excited to see playing with Card and Kaio. I think that's going to be a terrifying team to go up against, especially given the success that True Neutral have already had playing in North America. They look like they're right there with the very top teams in NA. So Furia, I think, will also be up at that level for Sam. And then you've got Ground Zero, who just dominated OCE last season. I think they look great. I think every single region has got a shot at making a top 4 in a major. Of course, EU and NA are favourites to get plenty top 4 finishes, but Middle East, with all of the talent over there, particularly Sandrock Gaming, South America with Furia, and well, True Neutral as well, if you still want to count them as a SAM team for this season. If Sam are probably going to claim them, and I don't blame them. And then OCE with Ground Zero as well. Lots of talent, all stacked. So I'm super excited to see it. Super excited to see it. Anyway, back to the series at hand. Kiernan again having a good start. Oski definitely doesn't look comfortable defending against Kiernan's air dribble bumps. I want to see more of that from Kiernan. I want to see just more physical play. Oski is a very clean player. He's a very finesse-focused player, and I've seen Kiernan bully his way to victory so many times in the past. I think it would be a great idea to continue to do in this matchup. Does Kiernan stream? I don't know if he does, but I'll have to ask him if you remind me at the end of this series. Yeah, Oski being extremely disciplined with his flip resets. I'm seeing a lot of players these days just commit to a flip reset on every single air dribble, even if it looks like absolutely pointless to go for one. But Oski is just deciding, nah, I'm not going to bother doing it on a lot of these air dribbles because the setup isn't perfect. Maybe the first touch is a bit too far away from him, a bit too low, and he decides there's not really any point going for a reset. It's only going to make me more likely to land out of position. So just let that one be the mind game. Let that air dribble be the standard air dribble with no reset attached to it. Kiernan diving into no man's land, makes no contact, gets a bit fortunate that Oski missed the target. And now he's trying to walk that ball to the side of the field, decided that that's not going to work either. And low 50 goes in, Kiernan up by 2. Sticking to the formula, just getting down and dirty. Oski's gonna fancy his chances with a pre-jump every now and then. It's a good switch up from Kiernan. He's a player well known for his flicks. Oski will know that. We've already seen a few today. He's gonna need to think about pre-jumping whenever Kiernan's ball carrying. Can you ever was today? No, actually I did talk to him earlier. He has gone offline for the night, so no request today. We might get a second show match. I did tweet this. We might be able to get a second show match. I know Ams is down to play, but I'll have to wait and see if I can find him an opponent after this one's done. Yeah, sorry Kiernan, gonna need to see this one again from Oski's POV. Look at that, pre-flip out of the reset and into the bottom corner goes the ball. He makes it look so easy. Again, just very good shot selection by Oski. He's only going for it when he knows he's got a very good chance of making it work. By the way, thank you to 23 Nick RL for the 16-month tier 1. We got Bitsu with the brand new Prime. Faraz FS with 12-month Prime, and Scott Stotts with the 7-month Prime. Welcome back, everybody. Ams versus Dead Monster. I actually, funnily enough, did talk to Dead Monster as well before this, and he has also gone offline. Might be difficult to get a EU player at this time of night, but I'm thinking maybe we can get AMS versus a North American player on Europe servers. What do you guys think? How does that sound? We've done the NA versus Middle East quite a few times in the past. It's always been a hit. It's always been fun. Oski, single reset, no double this time. Kiernan staying low enough in the challenge to make sure that he wasn't going to get scored on that occasion. AMS versus Evo. Yeah, AMS versus Evo would be really, really fun, actually. That would be really, really fun. And yeah, Evo did have a very good EU connection, because he is an East Coast player. That's true. Ahmad plays, haven't seen him in quite a while. Those guys are really good friends. I don't think they would want a 1v1. You know, there's like a very close-knit community in Middle East players, and some of them just don't want to ever 1v1 each other unless they run into each other in tournaments. Then of course they will play, but they don't want a show match. I think Ams Ahmad might be one of those combinations. Okay, Oski's gonna need a couple kickoff goals and a 0-second goal here. I don't think it's I mean, it is possible, but versus Rob's, aka Kiernan's kickoff, not gonna happen. So we will have a tie series. I could definitely, you know, the way this one's going, I wouldn't be surprised seeing this one go all the way to game 5. These guys look like a great match for each other. Oski definitely has a bigger bag of tricks in the air, but Kiernan's solid in defense, and he's able to handle it to a good enough level to keep the counter-attacks coming. And, you know, Oski's had just as much trouble defending against Kiernan's offensive repertoire, because even though it's not as flashy, it's not as stylish, it has been just as effective across both of these games. Here are my top 5 mechanical players in threes. What, for worldwide you mean? Top 5 mechanical players? See, like, mechanics is such a weird thing to explain to people, because there's a large part of the Rocket League community, even hardcore fans, who don't appreciate very, very important mechanics that are just fundamental to Rocket League gameplay, and they'll only consider, you know, double touches and flip resets mechanics, maybe ceiling shots, air dribbles, and that's it. That's mechanics. But there's so many other fundamental mechanics that you got to look at, you know, very solid players before you can, you know, get on their player cam, and then you can really understand what they're doing. But yeah, that being said, I think that you can't deny that one of the most, well, definitely in the top 5 for everybody for 3v3 mechanics. You need to put first killer in there. If you don't have first killer in there, you're completely crazy. You need to put Azrael in there, or else you're completely crazy. Like, they're the two that just have to be in there, and there isn't even a discussion about it. I think everyone else, you could probably, there's probably a discussion about every other player, because no one else is quite at that level that I think first killer and Astral are at for 3v3. I think they're the top 2 for threes mechanics. And then you've got maybe 10 players in the conversation for the other 3 spots in the top 5. Players like Justin. You probably got to even talk about players like Atomic on a good day. You've also got to think about Alpha 54. You know, Jorius recently has been looking very good in threes. Mechanically, obviously, we already know he's completely top tier in just mechanics in general. Yeah, AJ is definitely in that conversation. Ahmad definitely in that conversation. You know, there's a big list. Which Atomic? I think mechanics, I'd probably say NA Atomic, but EU Atomic is also very mechanical. That's a good mention. Yeah, there's a lot of players basically. There's a lot of players. The only two that are just definitely in there for me are Astral and FairJame. I'd have to really think about it for the other three. If I was going to be if I was going to make a confident top 5, I'd really need to give it some thought. Also, I would say, you know, Monkey Moon. Even though Monkey Moon sits back a lot and does react a lot more than the other guys who are just known as some mechanical monsters because they just ball chase all game. I definitely think Monkey Moon belongs in that conversation because I think his mechanics are pretty much perfect as well. Yeah, see, like, already somebody's saying Monkey Moon question mark. It's crazy to me that people don't think Monkey Moon's mechanical. Like, Monkey Moon is so good. he's got I just think he's got like almost perfect mechanics. I think he's the best player in the world still. So you don't get best player in the world status without having ridiculous mechanics. I also have EU bias. I'm pretty sure I mentioned more NA players than EU players. Let's just rewind for a second. I said Justin, I said Atomic, I said FairJame, I said AJ. That's 4 NA. I said Ahmad for 1 Middle East. I said Astral, Alpha. Oh, great save by Oski there. That's ridiculous. I said Jorius, and then I said Monkey Moon. So I said the same amount of EU players as NA. How is that EU bias? If anything, I should be picking more EU players because right now EU is better than NA based on recent results. All of NA was going crazy. Like, literally, NRG, you know, took 2 games off BDS and scrims, and my entire Twitch chat, my entire Twitter feed, Reddit, everybody's like, what? Confirmed, NA's better. Then EU just annihilates, slaps, destroys NA in Salt Mine Atlantic Draft, and everybody's like, well, you know, copy, doesn't matter. Yeah, if you all want to talk about 2 scrims, then you definitely need to acknowledge Salt Mine Atlantic Draft as a far more important and noteworthy event. So just want to, yeah, see, there we go, already with a copium. That doesn't count as a meme tourney. Looked like NA was trying pretty hard, if you ask me. It looks like they were trying absolutely as hard as they could. It looked like they were trying. Anyway, my prediction's not looking too good for this series as Kiernan taking control. Oski was controlling a 2-1 lead, but as soon as Kiernan got one, he was able to get another and take a 3-2 lead as well. And he's doing something differently right now. I think he's done this specifically for Oski. He's really just playing for the possession here. Oski finds a way to disrupt that and ties it. And Oski is actually just really quick at spotting Kiernan, even slightly out of position. You saw there, he didn't just commit on that shot before seeing where Kiernan was. He waited until he saw exactly where Kiernan was, and then he goes for it because he knows at that moment that he can get there first. And I'm very impressed. He's done that a couple times in this series. Oski's, you know, moving in for shots, so you think he's probably just rushing without even checking. That's not the case. And Kiernan, can he score this? Oh, no way. Oh no, Kiernan, the nightmare miss. He's got to be careful here. Oski, you know, if he just drilled a reverse 45-degree flick on net, that was a goal. Speaking of, Kiernan might go for one here. Oh, it's another low 50. Oski stays low on it, defensively. And back to the blue half. Even as far as the blue back corner goes Kiernan. Oski's going to be pretty confident from this position though. There wasn't really anywhere for Kiernan to go. Had the ball in a kind of awkward height right next to the wall, so the air dribble wasn't on. Hard clear was going nowhere, and the dribble infield was easy to shut down. Oski boost advantage. Oh, he thought about keeping that up actually, but Kiernan will be quite glad to see OT. And the wave dash recovery kickoff almost gives Kiernan an advantage. Oski done well here to keep control. Also grabbed the corner boost as he took the ball back to his net, but now he's dead under it. Kiernan backing Oski up into his net once more. Oski mixes in an early challenge. He's not going to shadow every single time. And Kiernan's off his goal line. Oski goes around him and into the net it goes. 2-1 in games. A close one. Oski got the ball past Kiernan, and just as importantly, he got his car past Kiernan. Kiernan wanted a demo there. He really went for it. Oski just a bit too nimble, a bit too quick. Evasion maxed out in the stats. He takes the advantage once again. What a match here. Loving to see this level from Kiernan, because at times I'm so impressed by him, and even since the very first time I casted him, I don't remember exactly what match it was, but I know that for the longest time I've been very impressed with Kiernan, and I'm waiting for that streak of good results that will just catapult into the very top tier, but it's never happened for him. He's never been able to string those together. He's really close to Oski right now, who I think is one of the absolute best. What do I think about how Middle East will do in the first major? I think Middle East have got a shot at top 8 in the first major. It's going to be tough to do any better than that because there won't be that much time to practice. I said in the past that when we did that top teams in the world on a 3-month prep, I think we said 3-month prep for a LAN. If every team in the world had 3-month prep for a LAN, where would we rank them? And I had SRG at number 3, I believe. But they won't have 3-month LAN prep for this one, so I'm going to say a bit lower. I think that they've definitely got a shot at top 8. Was it 1 month or 2 month or 3 month? I feel like it was 2 or 3. Maybe it was 2. I don't recall exactly. Is the Anonymous Players Tournament happening? I definitely want to do it, but I'll need to arrange that at some point. Haven't done so yet. Hey, Cheese Touch, thanks for the 18-month Prime. And Woken Ray, thanks for gifting us up to Dido. And P12C4, thanks for the 16-month Tier 1. Welcome back to the channel. So, very strong start for Kiernan. I think he's got a more diverse kickoff repertoire as well. Oski sticking to the standards quite often. And Kiernan has just secured possession with wave dashes several times. A big boost advantage for Oski, about as big as he can get. Kiernan cannot stop the setup off the wall. Instead, it's in field for the shot from Oski. Look at this. Doesn't want to keep going for too many aerial plays. He's switching it up, and this time cutting in field. You know, it didn't work out. It didn't get him a goal, but now every time that Kiernan's retreating to the back corner, he has to be thinking about that. He has to be thinking about Oski potentially cutting in field and going immediately for the net, instead of the more scenic route that the off-the-wall play can often be. Kiernan going to do that same setup in Oski's end of the field, and he's going to score immediately from it. Catches the ball, pops it over the challenge, and he was even there for the potential bump should Oski have retreated into the net. So this was going to be very difficult to save, even if Oski decided to shadow instead of diving in. Another kickoff possession for Kiernan. Let's the ball bounce one more time on the ground. If you're wondering why he did that, it's because he didn't want to catch it on a high bounce. It would have maybe kicked up off the front of his car and ended up in Oski's hands. That's why Kiernan just let the ball bounce off the ground one time. Wanted it to be a lower bounce so he can control it more easily. Pretty fortunate demo there for Oski. Kiernan put himself in the line of fire, but that's one of them where you're just hoping that it doesn't, you're just hoping that the player trips up on your car rather than demos you on the landing. It's very close between the two. Look at the mind games by Kiernan, by the way. Mid-air. Pre-jump very early. Tried to scare Oski away from flying straight to the net. That's what's happened. Oski went a bit too high. A wide recovery by Oski, and he's going to score that, making it look easy in the process. Off a 50-50, just decides to flip to stay airborne. Only his first goal of the game, though. Did I see the tweet where a guy asked Civic to buy him a PC and Civic agreed? I did not see that, but Civic is a legend. Expected, thanks for gifting a sub to Buffalo for his 28th month in a row. Welcome back, Buffalo. Yeah, I did call game 5. I did say Oski would win. I'm sticking to it. I didn't say game 5 until the series has started, though. I'll be completely honest. If you had asked me for a scoreline prediction at the start of the series, I wouldn't have said game 5. I would have said 3-1, probably. I think I would have said 3-1 in favor of Oski, but Kiernan has been phenomenal. Do I allow forfeit in show matches? Yeah, I do, but no one ever really does it. Most of the players that play just want to continue playing. They just want to either, you know, start to reset their mentality before going into the next game, or maybe try and test out some new kickoff strats, or just test out some offense, defense at the end of the game. Just, you know, warm up the mechanics a little bit more. So forfeits, you know, I would allow them, and I have in the past, but nobody really does it. Convincing fake challenges by Oski here. He's waiting until the absolutely last second before starting, and look at this. He's actually forced Kiernan to run it into his own net. That's a very interesting play by Oski. He just somehow got around him. Created an angle out of nothing. Kiernan felt pretty safe there, thinking that he could just control that, keep it in the corner. Not the case. Fear show matches have gone out of hand once he allowed it, everyone doing it. I mean, I've never really like told players before matches, hey, you can forfeit if you want to, but sometimes somebody will just say FF or something. It's very rare though. Who's been forfeiting on the Fear's channel and Fear show matches? Oski trails by 1. Wasn't sure where to go with that shot. Kiernan's still doing a really good job of faking these aerial challenges. Evo usually. Chronic, Moxie, lol. There's quite a few players, I guess. Oski accidentally jumping over the ball, attempted to take off for the air dribble. Second time lucky, perhaps. Not this time. Kiernan guides it into the corner. Daniel started it. What kind of forfeits are we talking about here? I mean, what are the score lines? Are players forfeiting for positions that are definitely winnable? Wow. Look at the recovery by Oski. Kiernan thinking about an open net on the counter, and before he knows it, Oski's right back in the play. Down 5 goals with a minute left. That's like borderline. I'd say that's borderline. Evo forfeits a 7-4 game. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. Forfeiting a 7-4 is total nonsense with any time left. I mean, even with like 10 seconds left, the forfeit on a 7-4 is nonsense. You just got to score 2 kickoff goals and keep the ball up, lol. 3 goal advantage in 1v1 can disappear very, very fast. Very, very fast. But anything more than that, you know, when you get to 4 goals, 5 goals, it's certainly a lot harder. It's much harder to get 3 kickoff goals in a row. 2 kickoff goals in a row, doable. I mean, you just gotta. All you need to get 2 kickoff goals in a row is some kind of tricky kickoff, whether it's a delayed approach, whether it's a just switching up the way you're gonna flip into the ball, committing really hard on the side, and then once you've scored that one, just do something completely different on the next one. That's how we often see 2 kickoff goals in a row. We'll see somebody just go for a bit of a mind game strategy, do something a bit different they haven't really done before, get a goal out of nothing, and then just switch to a very, very solid strategy. Oh wow. Well, how has that stayed on the goal line? I thought this was going to bounce out from Kiernan, but look at the way the ball spins down into the ground here and actually stays inside the net. Very nice shot to put himself up by 1 already. Yeah, we've seen that before. We've seen 3 goal comebacks. 2 goal, I mean, nobody should ever be two goal. That's nothing. 2 goal might as well be 0 goals. In ones. Did I see the SRG group photo face reveal finally? I did see a Twitter photo, but I didn't see faces. Weren't they wearing their masks, so it's not really a full face reveal from the team. It was pretty dark as well, the photo I saw. I'm sure that they'll do proper photos for RLCS. That was always what they were saying, wasn't it? Kiernan forced to commit on the ball here with no boost. Didn't want to just completely give it to Oski, but ends up doing so anyway, and Oski's narrowly missed on an awkward rebound. Oski forced to land inside the net there. Wanted to land back well so he could stay on the ball here. Kiernan getting a free play and scores it. Just over a minute into the game. So that was not what Oski had planned in this play. If he lands on the back wall there instead of the inside of his net, he can actually close the gap to Kiernan, force a 50-50, probably be fine in the position. But by landing inside the net, Kiernan has time to turn, sets up a shot for himself, which is not likely savable. There's a clear photo after the tournament. Oh really? Is that on the Sandrock Gaming Twitter? I didn't see that one. I didn't see a clear one. Wait, are they wearing masks in it though? Is it the same one I'm talking about? Probably are, because it's the restrictions in the venue they were in. Kiernan winding up a big flick. Instead, opts for the mind game, and I think that was reactive. He didn't like the way the ball was sitting on his car, so he decided it would be better just to fake that one. Oski scores his first goal of the game on the very next attacking play. A couple of touches, late lean into the bump. Very difficult to see that coming. Oh, Kiernan wanted to bump Oski there. He couldn't get to the ball in time, but he could almost get to Oski's car, who now has all the boost in the position. Kiernan on 0. Not even able to path over the small pad. I think he might have got one there. Look at the transition from Oski. So clean on the turn. Didn't even leave that one up to chance. Went a safe distance around Kiernan. A little bit of social distancing on that dribble. Hey, Spade FL, thanks for the 2-month prime. Appreciate it, man. Both players with the exact same kickoff strategy. Kiernan, more committed to the side of the ball, wins it. Gets demoed for his trouble. And is this another air dribble bump from Oski? It looks like one. Kiernan, close. Unable to save it. We need to see this from his POV. He's probably going to want to go next, but we've got to see how close he got to saving this. Didn't, oh, he should have actually saved this. He didn't go for the standard strat. Usually he's just been jumping in the way of these. This time, in and out save was attempted, and had he been lined up with the ball properly, he would have had this, because Oski wasn't high enough with his bump to connect with Kiernan. He just flew straight into the top of the ball there. Swag Frog, thanks to the 11-month tier 1. And Mudakau with the 3-month tier 1. Appreciate it, guys. Oh, now, bit of a giveaway by Kiernan. That's careless. Completely concedes possession. In a hurry as well. Oski has been clinical in Game 5. Decides not to go all in on this offensive play, though. And neither will Kiernan. He's jumped up into the air. Both players are actually committing to aerials in this game. They're not following through on their initial plan. You know, there's quite a lot of second guessing in this Game 5. Kiernan opting for a hard hit. Oski with a harder one. Straight into the net. And that's off his own back wall. Kiernan just wanted to buy himself a little bit of time. Oski spotted the open net. What a shot as well. Very nicely done. You know, I don't hate Kiernan just hitting the ball away from himself in some of these positions, because it's not in positions that he can control the ball, so he just has to do something with it. But that was just such a good play by Oski. Kiernan didn't see it coming. Didn't realize there was a threat of just a direct goal in the position. Oski, so quick. Dodging demos like it's his occupation. And he is comfortably taking the lead now. So will we see that 3-goal forfeit you guys were talking about? I somehow doubt it. Need I remind you, I said this earlier, Kiernan has made a 7 goal comeback. That's right, 7 goals. He was losing 7-0 against Crowley. He came back and then won the game, and he scored those 7 goals in something like 1 minute of gameplay. It's happened. It's happened many times. I've seen several 5-goal, 6-goal comebacks in a minute in 1v1. Oh, okay. Well, there's one for Kiernan. Sneaking it in off the post. Oski did not expect him to be going for that, because that was a very awkward angle with the shot. Very difficult to put that one on net from that position. Mudica with 3-month prime. Mobius Machine with 23-month prime. Welcome back to the channel. Ball shot from Oski, so consistent. Straight in the center of the net, no chances taken. Kiernan caught out of position. Surprised by Oski's recoveries, not for the first time. Yeah, there's a legendary Khaled versus Astro comeback, of course, where Khaled scored 5 in 1 minute to come back from 5 goals down. Scrub's done it. Devo's done it. You know, there's so many times in the past where we've seen stuff like this. K-Dop's done it. So you're in good company if you stick in a game with a 5-goal deficit. Who knows? You might be able to put your name next to those legends. But it all starts with possession. Oh my goodness, Oski's recovery. So just when Kiernan thinks he's going to get a chance to get a freebie, Oski's using the bumps to just recover even more quickly. Prime Astral is greater than Drally in 1. So I mean, Prime Astral's, I think, about they both achieved greatness in 1v1. There's no denying it. But to say that Prime Astral greater than Drally, I mean, what do you mean? If you put Prime Astral next to current Drally, who would win? Well, obviously current Drally, but that's because modern day game is so much more advanced, even compared to 2 years ago. Lovely little finish there by Kiernan. We are going to get the Oski win, so I get to be right about that one. But it was definitely closer than I expected. Kiernan looking very good. Looking very good in this matchup. I'm impressed. Yeah, GG's to both. And hopefully we'll see more of them in the future.